Don't go anywhere. Welcome, everyone, to the 26th Biennial Governor's Awards of the Arts. I'm Michael Faison, the Executive Director of the Idaho Commission of the Arts, and I'm honored to co-host today's awards. First, I would like to acknowledge our commissioners who are present here today. Our Arts Commission Chair, Steve, please hold applause to the end, because otherwise we'll be here a long time. Commission Chair, Steve Allred from Montpelier. Vice Chair, Diana Livingston-Friedley from Pocatello. Marcia Bjorn from Rexburg. Sandy Ferry from Boise. Kate Fornerato from Pocatello. Marshall Garrett from Boise. Sheila Hennessy from Boise. Julia Oxarango Ingram from Boise. Adrian San Miguel from Meridian. Blair Williams from Coeur d'Alene. Allison Brush from Victor. Derek Dean from Haley. Miai Abe Griggs from Idaho Falls. And Jarrett Johnson from Twin Falls. Thank you all for your attendance. The Governor's Awards are made possible with the generous sponsorship of Sunshine Minting Incorporated. So please join me as well in thanking Sunshine Minting for their support of today's event. An event such as this doesn't plan itself either. It's a result of countless hours of work and attention to detail. I wish to thank the commissioners and staff of the Idaho Commission of the Arts and the board and staff of the Idaho State Historical Society and their director, Janet Gallimore, who I know is here today, and the Idaho State Historical Museum Administrator, Liz Hobson. Janet. I also walk in the footsteps of many who came before me in this job. I work for the governor. Another man who worked for the governor in this position before is here today. Fred Hebert, you're here. I just want to honor you as well today. And now I have the distinct honor to introduce the Governor and First Lady of Idaho, Governor Brad Little and First Lady Teresa Little.
Thank you, Michael. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That was my part.
Good afternoon to this year's award recipients and honored guests, both here at the Idaho State Museum and around the state. It's appropriate that we celebrate the Governor's Awards in the Arts at the Idaho State Museum, where the stories of Idaho and her people are told to future generations. Today, we honor those who tell those stories through creativity, inventiveness, and reverence for history and tradition. Their stories communicate our artistic legacy to the future generations so that they will know who we were in our time. They're told through art, architecture, music, theater, and dancing, through regalia and beadwork, through fiddling, saddle making, and silver engraving, and even through the ancient art of paper making. New generations can have faith in their futures because they're grounded in our stories. We're here today to honor those who create this work, who support and present it, and who teach it to our children. Now, please rise for another beautiful story as the Star-Spangled Banner will be performed by 3 award winner fiddlers from the 2022 National Old Time Fiddlers Contest, Michaela Shippey Ruggs of Caldwell, Jetta Brooks of Middleton, and Jadelyn Lee of Boise, and Emily and Aaron Fuchs of Meridian.
The Governor's Awards in the Arts was established in 1970 by the Idaho Commission in the Arts to recognize achievement in and for the arts in Idaho. Nearly all states have such awards now, but Idaho was among the first to establish them. They are held every 2 years. To enable full participation in awards, we are live streaming today's ceremony so that friends and family across Idaho may applaud this year's honorees. Since the inception of these awards, Idaho has always bestowed a silver medallion engraved with the recipient's name on the reverse. Altogether, there have been 257 distinguished Idaho recipients of this medallion. The original medallion was designed by Curtis Nelson, a now retired University of Idaho art professor, who is also a former chairman of the Idaho Commission on the Arts. Then, in 2004, the medallion was redesigned by artist Elizabeth Wolf of Boise. The Idaho Commission on the Arts itself was established by the legislature in 1966 at the urging of Governor Robert Smiley. It is Idaho's primary cultural agency and represents the state of Idaho at the national level. The Commission strives to stimulate the study and presentation of the arts and to support public participation and expression of the arts. We'll get started. It is now my honor to present this year's recipient of the Governor's Award in the Arts. The first category is Excellence in the Arts. This award recognizes individuals or organizations that have demonstrated an exemplary degree of artistic excellence.
Lauren Edson is a Boise native and the founder, artistic director, and choreographer of Lauren Edson Dance, or LED. Her work is innovative and frequently incorporates multimedia experiences. Her dancing and choreography have brought national attention to Idaho, helping to make Boise, Idaho a creative center for dance. She has danced with the Trey McIntyre Project, Portland's Body Box, and Chicago's Hubbard Street Dance, and now has her own company. In 2020, she was named as one of Dance Magazine's 25 to Watch. Lauren was nominated by the Board of Directors of LED.
Lauren Edson, will you approach the lectern and receive your award?
You can clap all you want. Congratulations.
Thank you so much to Governor Brad Little and Teresa Little and Idaho Commission on the Arts, Michael Faison. This is an immense honor. I have been in Boise and Idaho for forever. It seems for my entire life pretty much, and to be able to work and create in this beautiful place and to be among so many people I love and admire and on a list of such incredible artists. It is an immense honor, and I'm grateful and humbled. Thank you so much.
A native of Lewiston, Stephanie Inman currently lives in Boise, and she's a public artist, graphic designer, and arts business owner who has created public art and design for Zoo Boise, Boise City Hall, the MK Nature Center, Rhodes Skate Park, Boise Watershed, Irma Heyman House, and many, many more. Owing to her love of architecture, Stephanie's architectural miniatures of the historic buildings in Idaho, like the old schoolhouse in Silver City and the barbershop building in Atlanta, they're gems, they're absolute gems, have been exhibited at the old Idaho Penitentiary, and she was nominated by her daughter, Amy Soros.
Stephanie Inman, will you approach the lectern and receive your award?
I actually brought a tiny building just to distract from myself, but it's hard to see. So I'm going to talk for about 1 minute and 40 seconds basically about what I'm grateful for. I'm an Idaho native. I grew up in Lewiston, and about age 10, I loved poring over home plan books, which is kind of weird. But my criteria for a good plan was being able to run all the way around a fireplace, or say a Jack and Jill bathroom. Being able to run around in a circle, that was how I judged floor plans. I also love decorating and making doll houses, the big and the tiny details. And the body styles of cars. I loved cars and motorcycles. My parents always supported and validated my interests. My interests led me to a degree in architecture. I then segued into graphic design and public art. Public art is a huge passion of mine. I've designed over 25 public art projects, usually with the amazing fabricator Ken McCall, who's in Garden City. I love the collaborative aspect of public art. My favorite projects are ones that engage the public and are free and accessible for Idaho families. So the older I get, the more important I think it is to listen to all of your weird callings. Pay attention to and carve out time to celebrate and pursue the weird and the wonderful. Being wide awake to that has led me to public art and design and to my current obsession of making little wood buildings. My art connects me with my community. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel alive. I want to thank my biggest supporters, my awesome husband, John, right here, who loves rivers, pizzas, and fly fishing. My amazing parents, my engineer dad, who loved backpacking, hunting, and flying planes. My mom, Sally, who's right there, who loves bold colors, painting gourds, and helping people. She's crying, gosh dang it, I didn't think I'd make eye contact with her. Thank you to my younger daughter, Amy, for nominating me. She loves wolves, horror movies, jazz, and claymation. And thank you to my older daughter, Kate, a scientist who loves to travel, roller skate, and DJ. Thank you to the Arts Commission, our governor and first lady. Thank you to everyone here for improving our collective cultural and artistic life in Idaho. I'm so grateful our big state, with so few people and so much wilderness, can support the arts in this way. It is a true privilege and an absolute pleasure to be here today. Thank you.
I was hoping she'd forget that. Janie Ray Seda is a Boise-based artist, small business owner, mentor, and community advocate. She parlayed her love of fine art and her skill at art making into a successful business working out of her studio in Boise. Janie Ray exhibits and sells her paintings in galleries and festivals, and her work is featured in numerous collections. She served as an artist in residence for the Idaho Botanical Garden, the City of Boise, and Mesa Verde National Park, and Bureau of Land Management. And she mentors numerous up-and-coming artists. Janie Ray is the embodiment of the fine art entrepreneur with a deep sense of commitment to her community. She was nominated by Mary Arnold.
Janie Ray Seda, will you approach the lectern and receive your award?
Thank you. There it is. Thank you.
There we go.
I once got my driver's license returned from the Idaho State driver's license place because they said my smile was so bad. So I had to take a new one anyway.
I can help you with that.
Oh, this is such a surprise. I'm going to flash back to 1973, senior year at University of Idaho. My elective was oil painting. At the end, final review, don't ever pick up a paintbrush again, you're pathetic. And it was mud, it was bad. Then life happens, love, children, we change. By my early 50s, those words meant nothing. I want to thank my dear friends who nominated me. Thank you to all my fellow artists for their inspiration. I owe much to my patrons and to my family. Thank you, Governor Little and Teresa and the Idaho Arts Commission for validation. The validation of tens of thousands of hours since 2005. I've just counted up how many pieces I've completed. 3,382 original works of art. And I can tell you this not to brag, but to tell those that doubt artists can make a living being creative, doing what you want, that it is possible. I use my new studio for not only painting, but it is open to the public, not just for sale, but to show the cultural aspects of Boise. I love sharing ideas and helping my fellow artists to grow, develop their skill, and overcome fear of success. My obsession chose me. I paint from my heart and soul. I don't want to cry. Each piece is painted for a specific person, I will meet somewhere, sometime in the future. I sit down at my easel, I meditate, I never know the ending. The painting peeks out as I paint. Thank you once again for this gift. Now it's time for me to start overcoming my next plateau. Thank you.
As befits a creative couple, the next award is presented to a husband and wife artistic team of Stephen Schultz and Romy Stuckert of Sandpoint. Together, their artistic careers have flourished with exhibits in Berlin, Paris, New York, and most recently, much closer to home, in Missoula. By the way, I saw that exhibition. Their aesthetics couldn't be more different from each other. Stephen's, he's a classicist, introspective, hearkening to centuries-old long Western canon. Romy's is expansive, gestural, and personal. Sadly, Romy Stuckert passed away in June 2020 at the age of 65. But her artistic partner and husband, Stephen Schultz, will receive the award for both of them. Romy and Stephen were nominated by Vera Gadman and Callie Thurman.
Stephen Schultz, will you approach the lectern and receive your award?
Thank you. I'm accepting this gift here today, but it's also jointly shared with my wife, Romy, who died 2 years ago. In fact, that's the dearest part of this award, is that we're getting to share it. I should add that Romy is a child of the Northwest, having grown up in Slimity, Oregon, and graduating from Gonzaga. And we moved back here in '87 looking for home-based studios. And we found that first in Hope, Idaho, overlooking Lake Ponderay. And then 13 years later in a repurposed warehouse in Sandpoint. And I guess I want to give a shout out to the other artists and creative people that we're blessed to work and live among up in Sandpoint, in that area. So a shout out to all those people in the northern part of the state. Thank you very much. And also at this moment, I'd like to thank Callie Thurman and Dion Williams for their love and support and over the last couple of years. And they're with me here today. So thank you all. And thank the Governor and First Lady and the Arts Commission. But everybody's co-opted everything I was going to say. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks a lot.
Established in 2002, the Award for Excellence in Folk and Traditional Arts recognizes master folk and traditional artists together with their traditional artist expression and occupational practices in Idaho.
Tom Bennick was a master papermaker and teaching artist. He carried on a tradition that most of us take for granted, but shouldn't. Tom carried forward the ancient art of papermaking for future generations. He was a longtime teaching artist as well with the Idaho Commission on the Arts, teaching this fine craft to youth across the state. He was a founding member of the Mountain Home Arts Council, and over the years was a force in Mountain Home's artistic life, including the Literary Committee, Visual Arts Guild, coffee houses, and the Whistle Pig Literary Journal. Apparently, he was the one who gave it that name, Whistle Pig. It's a great name. Unfortunately, we lost Tom in 2021, but we haven't lost his lessons as a master craftsman, teacher, and as a decent human being. He was nominated by Chris DeVore, and Tom's wife, Lynn Bennick, is here today to receive his award.
Lynn Bennick, will you approach the lectern and receive your award? On behalf of Tom.
My dear lady, God bless you. And Governor, I even voted for you.
Oh, bless you. Come over here, we'll take a picture. More the barrier.
And my daughters are here supporting me. Baby steps.
There we are, right here, please. That's beautiful. We'll get one more, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah,
Okay,
briefly.
okay, go ahead.
Well, I told him I'd wait for the hook to come out and get me. First of all, First Lady and Governor, thank you for this extreme honor for my husband. Yes, I'm thrilled to be here. Tom's here. Those of you that know me and know this, my girls and I are wearing our medallions with his thumbprint. And I was going to be a little steadier than this, but I want to thank the Idaho Commission on the Arts for this honor. I want to thank Chris DeVore, the director of Mountain Home Art Council, because he did the preliminary work to make this possible. And if I'm yelling at you, I apologize. Tom used to have to adjust microphones too. But I thank my friend Davis, who is my dear friend, and he was Tom's too. He is my chauffeur, my confidant, and everything else in between. Yes, there are many people, many friends who are here today and came and greeted me. I thank you, Jenny Ray, for the memories. That lovely lady who is here today and being honored was in Tom's first class of speech in Mountain Home High School. Or junior high it was, wasn't it? Okay, so it's such a pleasure to greet all of you. And we all, for the Common Course here, we are so proud and happy to be able to share this with all of our friends that could be here and my family, our family, Amy and Molly. So thank you for bearing with me. I used to say that a lot.
The National Old Time Fiddlers Festival and Contest is a cultural tourism gem in Weiser, Idaho. With its origins in the 1910s and the long-running Square Dance Festival, the Fiddlers Festival and Contest was added to the lineup in 1953 by the Weiser Chamber of Commerce. Within a few years, the fiddling dominated, as it should. And with the fiddling came more visitors, and this once local festival became a major tourism draw in Washington County, with as many as 5,000 attendees annually from all 50 states and beyond. Since the 1960s, the Weiser Festival arguably is one of the most important fiddle festivals in the entire nation. Particular recognition is also due to the Fiddle Festival's Executive Director, Sandra Cooper, and Board President and Vice President, respectively, Bruce and Cindy Campbell. The festival was nominated by Gary Eller.
Sandra, Bruce, and Cindy, will you approach the lectern and receive your award?
Line up right here on the red line.
Oh, dear.
Tell us what to do.
Okay. Step on up to the red
All
line.
right.
We'll
Forward.
have you two there in the middle. Okay.
Angle yourself a little bit here, turn this way.
And we'll scoot over this way so we can bring in the first lady.
So you can,
There we go. Here we are. Perfect. Okay, and then one more step up on this side, please. Thank you so much. All right. Here's the first one. And start like just a little bit. Thank you. Okay. I'm getting lost. Here we go. Let's do it a couple more times. Right into this lens right here. And one more, please. Thank you so much.
Who gets the hardware?
Give it to one of them.
All right.
Well, it's really an honor to be here to represent the National Old Time Fiddlers Contest and Festival. My name is Bruce Campbell. I am president of the National Old Time Fiddlers Contest Board and Board of Directors. On behalf of the National Old Time Fiddlers Contest and Festival, I would like to thank Governor Brad Little and First Lady Teresa Little for selecting the National Old Time Fiddlers Contest and Festival for the award in excellence of folks and traditional arts. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Idaho Commission on the Arts for their support with grants and training that have been made available to us over the years. In addition, I would like to thank those folks that submitted letters of support for our nomination. Gary Eller, a banjo player, guitar player, composer, and researcher from Nampa, Idaho. Vi Whitcomb, a fiddler from Colorado, longtime attendee, a fiddler from and winner at the National Old Time Fiddle Contest. Vivian Williams, a record producer and old-time fiddler from Seattle, Washington. Hal Cannon, a musician, archivist, and producer of Fiddler's Pilgrimage, an 1-hour production prepared for public radio. The first small fry winner, Megan Lynch Chowney, a fiddler, instructor, and performer from Tennessee, and Alex Chavaria, owner of Living in the News in Weiser. Our board of directors, the executive director and the festival director, Sandra Cooper, as well as administrative assistant Amy Burdett, also deserve a tremendous thank you. They make the wheels turn on this event. Over the past 70 years, it has taken hundreds of volunteers to make the event happen. Most of these volunteers are citizens of Weiser, but we do have a few that come to Weiser at their own expense to help each year from out of town. When I call the volunteers, they will often say, I was wondering when you were going to call. And likewise, in contacting sponsors, they say, I'll be happy to do what I did last year. This is a community event. The whole community makes it happen. Of course, musicians keep this event going year after year with their faithful attendance. As these wonderful people are leaving, they'll say, see you in 51 weeks. They're great. In closing, I'd like to quote from a letter written by Manny Shaw of Corral, Idaho, on May 13, 1961, to Homer Emmons of the Weiser Chamber of Commerce. This national contest, I think, can be made pretty big. Too big for one day. Thank you.
For those of you who don't know, Teresa's from Weiser, and a few years ago, her brother had a convertible, and so her brother drove, and her dad sat in the passenger seat. And we went through the Fiddle Festival parade. Everybody goes, I don't know who the guy is in the back seat, but the people in front are just great. In 1990, the Award for Supportive Arts Education has recognized educators for their efforts to strengthen arts and education in Idaho schools. The award is based on advocacy and commitment to arts education, together with the nominees' overall effect on this important aspect of education in Idaho.
Daniel Buckfitch is a University Distinguished Professor at the Lionel Hampton School of Music at the University of Idaho. He joined the university faculty in 1978 and teaches percussion, music theory, oral skill, and jazz choir. As valuable as are the skills that he teaches, the life lessons from the rigor and excitement of music learning has made such a difference in countless lives. Daniel always puts his students first, and after more than 44 years of instruction, he continues to radiate the creative energy and enthusiasm for learning that inspires new generations of young musicians. Daniel was nominated by Delphine Kahn.
Daniel Buchvik, will you approach the lectern and receive your award?
I so wish I had a little building. That's like the coolest thing. Governor and First Lady Little, Executive Director Faison, members of the Idaho Commission on the Arts, fellow awardees, guests, thank you so much for this honor. I am fortunate to follow in the footsteps of many previous recipients of the Governor's Award in the Arts. all of whom have served as my musical and artistic guides, mentors, friends, and teachers. Music administrators Bert Berta, Jerry Vivig, Jerry Shively, Kathy Stefani. University of Idaho faculty colleagues Mary Kirkwood, George Roberts, Joanne Munita, Robert Wrigley, Kim Barnes, David Geese, Sally Mackless. Lionel Hampton School of Music mentors Agnes Schult, William Billingsley, Mary Dupree, Lynn Skinner, Lionel Hampton. And a special thanks to my colleague in the University of Idaho Department of Art and Design, Delphine Kime, for nominating me and working so diligently collecting letters of support. So I am honored and humbled. Thank you all.
Joe Jacoby is a professor of theater at North Idaho College. He has produced, directed, and acted in too many plays to count. He took all that experience into service of his true calling, theater education. First with the Idaho Theater for Youth, and then with North Idaho College for over 20 years. He's dedicated to his students, helping them to grow as creative individuals. And in summer 2022, he became the chair of North Idaho College's Communications and Fine Arts Division. Though this surely means an increased administrative duty, his heart surely also remains on stage with his students. And Joe was nominated by his wife, Michelle Shimalevsky. That's it.
Joe Jacoby, will you approach the lectern and receive your award?
I think as a theater person I'd be less nervous, but thank goodness there's a lectern here, so you're going to see the paper rattling. I'm deeply grateful to have my work recognized by the Governor's Arts Awards, and I'm grateful for the Governor and for the Idaho Commission on the Arts doing this work to keep people reminded of the importance and value of arts in our community. But I'm not standing here alone. There are many people with me who you're not able to see. My parents served as my first role models as they modeled serving others. My mom is here today at 96, so she doesn't know where she is or why, but she's here. That's not true. She still lives on her own in the house I grew up in, which is an enormous blessing. I'll be hearing about this later. I've benefited from a multitude of positive role models whom I've aspired to emulate. The theater program at North Idaho College has enjoyed the strong support of my division chair and vice president of instruction, and without that support, my work wouldn't be as challenging or satisfying. I'm also part of one of the best teams one could hope to work with. Our costume designers, our performing arts center staff have helped not only to realize my ideas, but surpass them due to their creativity and their tremendous skills, enthusiasm, and commitment to our students. Something I'm most proud of is that with all of our productions, there are wonderful moments happening on stage that someone other than me contributed. No program can be better than its students, and as much as I have given my students, they have returned far more to me. They've been willing to challenge themselves, take risks, trust me, and most importantly, trust themselves. They've been inspirational, and I've been consistently blessed to have students with the ability and commitment to make challenging productions work. As a result, I've been privileged to be proud of every show I've directed at NIC over the last 20 plus years. All of this is in service to an art form that reminds us the deep human connection we all share and that can all too often get lost in today's world. Because theater is a collaborative art form, we often note that when successful, the outcome is greater than the sum of its parts. And I'm an excellent example that 1 + 1 + 1 can equal much more than 3. Thank you.
Christina Phillips teaches string orchestra in the Coeur d'Alene School District, serving every elementary school in the district. She also has served as the conductor of the North Idaho Youth Symphony for the past 15 years and is an energetic volunteer with the Idaho Music Education Association, managing music competitions, events, and fundraising activities. She helps children build skills, confidence, tenacity, and teamwork as they hone their musicianship and the life lessons that come from learning through music. She serves as the principal bassist for the Coeur d'Alene Symphony, has served as the symphony's principal cellist, and regularly plays with the Opera Coeur d'Alene and the Lake City String Quartet. She was nominated by Ariana Day.
Christina Phillips, will you approach the lectern and receive your award?
Thank you to Governor and First Lady Little and the Idaho Commission on the Arts. It is an honor to be here, and I'm grateful for your unwavering support of the arts in our state. Thank you to Ariana and August Day for nominating me. You two have been an amazing cheering section for me, and I truly appreciate you. I also want to thank the Lord Jesus for giving me the strength to get up every morning and the patience to get through each day's chaos. I would like to say thank you to my husband, Jim, sitting here, who teaches band and orchestra in the same district as me and understands all too well why this job takes so much time out of school. I also want to thank our kids who are awfully tolerant of their moms sitting at the computer so much, grading sometimes painful assignments with little running commentary of their own. And finally, thank you to my parents who nurtured a love for music and made it possible for me to study as much music as I could before sending me to college to pursue my passion. I've been a little resistant towards getting this award. I don't know if any of you felt that way a little bit too. I work in 11 elementary schools teaching beginning orchestra, and every day I see countless other educators doing the exact same thing I am. It seems unfair that I should get awarded something for doing my job the best I can, the same way they are. But because I've been given this platform for a limited time, I'm going to use it. I've been trying to think about what I could possibly say that could be unique or profound, and I feel that by now everybody knows the benefits of music education. Yes, it makes you smarter. It's good for the developing brain. Children who have arts education in elementary school are better set up for education in later grades. And then after and during quarantine and having to help teach our own children, I feel like parents all over have a much deeper level of empathy towards what teachers deal with on a daily basis. So if I had one thing to share, if I had one wish, it would be that we would all treat each other with more kindness today. Just today. Just for one day, try it. I think that is part of what makes a good teacher, patience and kindness. The world has become stressful and intolerant, and there are so many people I see each day who are beaten down and weary. Parents who are so tired of telling their kids the same thing day after day, which I know none of us can relate to. Kids who are stressed out by school pressure and social pressure. Colleagues of mine who are working so hard to close the gaps that have been left by COVID. Sometimes all they need is a kind smile and a word of encouragement. We need to know that we aren't alone. In giving someone that kind smile and encouragement, I myself feel even more encouragement than I could possibly have just given. There will always be people in our lives, in our classrooms, in our studios, who are hard to reach and harder to love. And in my own line of work, I've come to truly believe that anyone can learn to play an instrument. I've taught kids who are missing fingers, who are missing a hand, who are deaf or autistic or dyslexic, and the one constant among their successes is their unwillingness to give up when it gets tough. We need to do the same. When you feel discouraged, share a smile with a stranger. When you're having a hard afternoon, ask the supermarket checker how their shift is going, because all they do is talk to other people about their day, and it's a tremendous gift. One of the perks of being an artist is the opportunity to brighten someone's day through our artistry. Let's remember that everyone has that power, regardless of artistic talent. Congratulations to all of the other amazing and talented people here this afternoon. Thank you.
Good words to live by. Max Stymack has been teaching music in the Wood River Valley for 33 years. He began his music teaching career in Cary, Idaho, where he taught for 13 years. For the last 20, he has taught grades 6 through 12 chorus. Max has a way of building students up, raising their confidence as he raises their performance standards. He was instrumental in helping the Blaine County School District to receive the National Association of Music Merchants Foundations Award for Best Communities for Music Education 7 years in a row. He teaches at the Sun Valley Summer Institute, and his Cola Voce choral audition group sings at public and private events and parades throughout the valley. He was nominated by Jamie Stymack.
Max Stymack, will you approach the lectern and receive your award?
Thank you so much.
Governor Little, First Lady Little, thank you so much. This is a great honor. Thank you to the Commission of the Arts. I would like to say cheers to my beautiful, loving wife, Jamie, and our daughters, Isabella and Olivia, for which are my everything. I also want to thank my wonderful and creative friends and mentors, R.L. Rousey, Kim Gasanika, Jim Watkinson, Dorinda Rendall, Rebecca Martin, and Linda Pyra. All of my students have been amazing to me, especially my Cola Voce Vocettes. However, there are a few that I must single out from my career. First, I have to mention Emma Flolo, whose compassion was shown when Jamie, Isabella, and I lost our Olivia. Also, Mary Petsky, whose commitment to excellence is always unwavering. And lastly, Amy Nelson, who always had a passion for making the world a better place. I'm going to pause right here because As I listened to all of the speeches before mine, I'm going to be honest, I shed a tear more than once. And I always say when I'm public speaking, it's okay, I can cry if I want to, I'm a choir teacher. Finally, I must show my appreciation for those who inspired my passion for music education. My father and mother, Olaf and Marie Steinmack. My father, Oli, was an amazing union pipe fitter, but his friends remember him as a guitarist and a bass guitar player. Also, my high school teacher, choir teacher, Mark Heisengay, who taught me how much music I had to give. And last but not least, my grandmother Stella, a one-room school teacher in rural Montana, who taught a struggling 10-year-old to read, bribing me with homemade donuts and sitting with me at the piano for hours as we sang songs from the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. Little did I know that that was to make me read. This is how I learned the importance of my passion for music education. And I'd like to end with, please choose love over hate. Thank you.
Excellence in Arts Administration was initiated as a category in 1998. It honors professional administrators and others responsible for the leadership of their own organization. Each recipient must demonstrate exceptional service influencing the arts in their community and in Idaho.
Did Autumn make it? Is she here? Autumn Kersey is the founder and executive director of the Treasure Valley Children's Theater. Autumn launched the company in 2012, presenting 1 to 2 performances a year. 10 years later, still under Autumn's leadership, her company presents 92 education programs in 5 full-stage productions for 3,500 audience members annually. She navigated the pandemic with multiple performance venue changes with grace and patience, demonstrating the core values of the company she built. It's no wonder that Autumn has been honored with numerous awards, including KTVB's Seven's Hero in 2003, Boise Young Professional's Young Professional of the Year in 2013, and Idaho Business Review's 50 Women of the Year in 2016. Autumn was nominated by Michelle Carter Cran. And I believe it'll be Lauren Hamilton receiving the award for Autumn.
Lauren Hamilton, will you approach the lectern?
So for those of you who know Autumn, you know that I'm not her. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lauren Hamilton, and I'm thrilled to be here accepting this award on behalf of Autumn. Autumn and I have known each other for about 22 years, and without revealing too much about myself or her, I'll let you know that's more than 2/3 of my life. Our paths first crossed when I was enrolled in one of Autumn's theater classes through Boise Parks and Rec. I spent several summers with Autumn in the summer musical program at Boise Little Theater. And if we fast forward several years, I now serve as the president of the board of the Treasure Valley Children's Theater. The motto of Treasure Valley Children's Theater is changing the world one theater kid at a time. And while I don't know if I'm changing the world, I know my relationship with Autumn has changed my world. Autumn sent along the following thoughts to share with you today. By the way, she's on an international flight back to Boise. So she says, I'm honored to be selected among the incredible humans who contribute to enrich the lives of Idahoans through the arts. But this award is not mine alone. It belongs to the creative people who embrace the vision to leverage the power of the arts to empower future leaders. I'm so proud to be affiliated with Treasure Valley Children's Theater and the many artists, volunteers, and youth who contribute to the mission. She adds, thank you to the Idaho Commission on the Arts, Governor Little, and First Lady Little. So from the adults that Autumn encounters in her job and in her community to the theater kids she encounters at TVCT, Autumn prides herself on treating people with respect and making sure that everyone knows there's a seat for them at the table. She challenges the status quo. She isn't afraid to do what's right, and she knows there's always an opportunity to learn and grow along the way. The number of theater kids, including mine, whose lives have been touched by Autumn Kersey is immeasurable, and she has most certainly changed the world. I'm so honored I get to celebrate my teacher, my mentor, and my friend. Thank you for seeing and recognizing Autumn for her work and her dedication to the arts. It's something her theater kids have known for years. Thank you.
Allie Shute is the Executive Director of the Coeur d'Alene Cultural Alliance. She moved to North Idaho in 1979 from Virginia and found her home, as many of us did. She has brilliantly guided the mission and vision of the Coeur d'Alene Cultural Alliance as a civic leader in the creative life and economy of Coeur d'Alene. Under Allie's leadership, the Arts Alliance coordinates the Summer Concert Series, the Art Walk, and the Artist Studio Tour. She brings arts leaders together monthly for Arts Buzz and facilitates professional development workshops in marketing, management, program development, board development, public relations, and fundraising. She works closely with business and city leaders to ensure that Coeur d'Alene thrives as a creative marketplace, and she was nominated by Abby Light.
Allie Shute. Allie Shute, will you approach the lectern?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so nervous. Thank you to the Governor and First Lady for this incredible honor. Thank you to Michael Faison and the Idaho Commission on the Arts, especially for the Change Leader Institute program. I was part of the DBAD group in 2016, and it was a game changer for me to work with a group of such talented, creative people, which gave me the confidence and tools to make me better at my job. I have been incredibly fortunate to work with an amazing team of board members, several of whom are sitting in the back. They drove down here from Coeur d'Alene to be here. And volunteers who have humored me, supported me, and afforded me the freedom to grow and be creative as we all work together to further our mission. I am so lucky to have a family and friends who are my cheerleaders, a husband who is my biggest fan, and a faithful volunteer, even when he doesn't want to. And my family actually is watching, which is really exciting. And my mom. Hi, Mom. And mostly to my mom, who poured her love of creativity in me from the very beginning and told me I could do anything. Thank you so much.
This is the second year for the innovation in arts as a category of recognition. Artists are both traditional bearers and innovators. So are those who teach the arts. The First Lady and I have been deeply moved by the innovative solutions demonstrated by dedicated Idaho educators who have risen to the occasion, and by schools that constantly innovate using the arts to teach cross-curriculum. Today, this award celebrates two such innovators.
Tara Feast is adjunct arts education faculty, on-ramp program coordinator, and K-12 professional development coordinator at Boise State University. She also is the president of the Idaho Art Education Association, becoming president as the pandemic took hold. Great. Throughout 2 extraordinary years, she guided ongoing professional development for art teachers throughout Idaho, quickly transitioning fall and spring in-person fall and spring in-person professional development conferences into online learning platforms. She initiated new Master Series workshops for classroom teachers to learn from teaching artists, and summer courses to provide new curricular content skills and knowledge for teachers. And she even archived all of this content for ongoing access by teachers. Tara innovated in extraordinary circumstances, and she was nominated by Michelle Shimalevsky. And I got the name right.
Tara Feast, will you approach the lectern and receive your award?
I don't know what to do myself here. If I don't make eye contact, it's like you're not here. Thank you. It is such an honor to be recognized alongside of so many dedicated, creative, and inspiring people, both now and prior award ceremonies. Over the years, I have attended many Governor's Arts Awards ceremonies and celebrated the accomplishments and contributions of others. I never really imagined I would be on this side of the microphone. First, I want to thank the Governor and First Lady and the Idaho Commission on the Arts. I don't need to tell this room of people how essential the arts are to a healthy community. Everyone in this room can tell a story about the transformative power of the arts. The important thing is that there are people like the Governor and the First Lady and the dedicated individuals from the Idaho Commission on the Arts who support and acknowledge the work that educators, artists, performers, and patrons do to ensure that the arts are part of Idaho. I want to thank the people who nominated me. I was privy to seeing those letters just recently, actually, and I'm glad that I got to see them, but I also wept. Will be clear, I wept in kind of a embarrassing way. Anyway, I want to thank those people because when you're doing that work, you do it because you're doing it and you are in it and you don't realize how many people see it. So I deeply appreciate those kind words and the words of encouragement from those who nominated me. Being the president of the Idaho Art Education Association has truly been like no other adventure I have ever been on. Shortly after starting my term, the world experienced the most unexpected and unprecedented upheaval.
and everything I thought I would be doing was suddenly impossible and irrelevant. The only thing I knew for sure was that we couldn't stop providing professional development and support for art teachers. How we were going to do that was really a lot less clear. But skipping ahead, we made it through, and the Idaho Art Education Association has grown. We have new virtual programs, we have new members from Idaho, but we also have new members from states in the Pacific Northwest. I get to see someone from Hawaii whenever we have our programming, and it is amazing. We have new strong partnerships, and we have just completed our first in-person conference since 2019, and it was quite successful. And now I'm here accepting an award for innovation in the arts. Being here is an honor, but there's more to this award. Like many of you have mentioned, there's more to these awards than just one person. The work I've done is part of that, but innovation does not happen with one person. To be successful, innovative ideas need groups of people like you who are willing to take risks, to try new things, to provide feedback and offer out new ideas. Being innovative means asking questions and listening. It means sharing and identifying strengths and identifying needs and combining forces. IAEA was able to be innovative because our members, our board, and our partners looked at me and said, okay, let's try it, or let's keep going. Without their encouragement, without their yeses, innovating wouldn't have been possible. There's so many innovative people in Idaho's creative community. We need to be on the lookout for those great ideas, and we all need to be willing to say, okay, let's try it. So thank you again, and thank you, First Lady, Governor. Thank you, Michael, and the Commission. And thank you to all of you for being here today.
Sorensen Magnet School is a K through sixth grade public elementary school in Coeur d'Alene Public School District. In 2004, this school had low enrollment and low test scores. Then, school leaders took a chance and innovated. They converted it into an arts-integrated magnet school. The results were nothing short of extraordinary. In 2021, USA Today ranked Sorensen #1 among Coeur d'Alene elementary schools, #6 in the state, and #1 among Idaho magnet elementary schools. Sorensen students attend classes an extra 30 minutes a day so that they can attend arts and humanities classes 3 days a week. Their art is displayed in local galleries. They perform in the downtown art walk and produce performances at North Idaho College. Sorensen engages significant parental involvement and places teaching artists in the classroom to help the teachers to teach through the creative process. Sorensen was nominated by Jill McFarland. Sorensen's administrator, Brett Depew, and Sorensen 4th grade teacher, Shanna Marshall, will accept the award on behalf of Sorensen.
Brett and Shanna, will you approach the lectern and receive your award?
Perfect.
Oops. It's not a good sign when you tear your notes. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Brett Depew, and I have the honor of being principal at Sorensen Magnet School. And standing next to me over here, my colleague, amazing fourth grade teacher at Sorensen Magnet School, Mrs. Shauna Marshall. Thank you for being with us today, Mrs. Marshall. There are a lot of people who had a hand in this award. It takes a village. Thank you to Governor and First Lady Little. Thank you to Michael Faison, the Idaho Commission on the Arts. By the way, educators out there, if you haven't looked up Idaho Commission on the Arts online, please take a look. The grant opportunities are vital to being able to offer additional arts and education opportunities in your school systems. So take a look at it. Thank you to the Coeur d'Alene Arts and Cultural Alliance. Blair, thank you for being with us today. Thank you to the Coeur d'Alene Downtown Business Association. The community connection, deep roots are vital to our success as a school and as a school district. And thank you to Coeur d'Alene School District 271 as we move forward together as a community, as a state, and as a country post-COVID. Thank you to the Sorensen Parent-Teacher Organization for your 17 years of hard work, dedication, and support. Very importantly, and would never ever forget this, thank you to the Sorensen staff and our students of past, present, and future. I want to recognize again, Mrs. Marshall being here today. There's a lot of connections with folks in this room, either North Idaho connections or people that I recognize throughout the state. Our school is connected to you in the work that you do. It's remarkable. So thank you to that. Mrs. Phillips, well done. Great job. There is a Sorensen story, but it's too long to share with you today. However, the short version is this. Our success is a result of 17 years of deep-rooted community and sometimes regional collaboration. That and our continued school mission and vision of placing a high value on the arts and humanities and the power of real hands-on learning happening in the classroom and turning out confident students who are not only confident, but they're critical thinkers and they're creative. They are the future of Idaho. So on behalf of myself and our Sorensen community back up north, as well as throughout the region, thank you for your recognition today.
In this inaugural year for the Governor's Award for Accessibility in the Arts participation is a right of everyone, including those with disabilities. Those who create that access for children and adults hold a special place in our society.
Brandel or Brandel? Brandel. That's it. Megan Brandel is the founder and director of Open Arms Dance Project. With early support from the Boise City Department of Arts and History, Megan established Open Arms Dance Project in 2008 with the belief that everyone deserves the opportunity to create, connect, and be seen, inclusive of their body type or ability. She is the recipient of an Alexa Rose Foundation grant and was an artist in residence at Searles Place in Garden City. She developed Encouraging Inclusive Dance Everywhere training for dance studios and the Upstanders with Open Arms anti-bullying program with the Wasmuth Center for Human Rights. Megan was nominated by Helena Peterson.
Megan Brandel, will you approach the lectern and receive your award?
Run out of film?
Battery.
should go ahead and start, and then we'll do the picture later as we recharge the bat. Oh no, we're back.
Okay. We're back, Governor. I'm on it.
I apologize for that.
No, that's no
Didn't
problem.
see it going.
We're back.
We're back in business.
We're back. And one more. Thank you so much.
At age 21, I taught my first adaptive dance class for preschool students who used walkers and wheelchairs. And this first class was funded by Idaho Parents Unlimited, and one of their daughters was in that class. They still fund my teaching today. This class transformed me as a young teacher by expanding my understanding of who can and should dance. However, the real fire was lit within me during the 5 years that followed, as I earned my Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in modern dance while simultaneously watching my dad become paralyzed and lose his life to Lou Gehrig's disease. These experiences made me resolute that dance, disability, artistry, and advocacy were my directions forward. Now, rather than teaching adaptive classes, I was interested in leading inclusive dance experiences involving people without disabilities so that they could expand their understanding of whose bodies, minds, and contributions are valued in the performing arts. But a radically accepting dance group like I dreamed of did not yet exist. So in 2008, I created it by founding Open Arms Dance Project, an inclusive and multi-generational dance company. Our mission is to create greater joy and compassion with dance that opens hearts, minds, and arms. And we carry out this mission through dynamic performances and educational programs each season, on stages large and small, and through flash mobs that bring awareness to the importance of accessible sidewalks and spaces. Using our award-winning films and Open Arms ambassadors, we teach elementary students how to be upstanders against bullying, because unfortunately this is something so many of our dancers have experienced outside of our welcoming dance community. During our 15 years, dancers, students, audience members, collaborators, and performance venue staff in Boise and beyond have come to understand that people with disabilities are valuable artists and deserve to be elevated and amplified on stage. Thank you for recognizing the importance of this work. I am so grateful to be honored.
For over 35 years, Idaho Parents Unlimited has served families who are raising children with disabilities who require special health care assistance from birth to adulthood. Though Boise-based, the organization serves all regions of Idaho. Idaho Parents Unlimited employs teaching artists in many artistic disciplines to facilitate creative experiences for individuals with disabilities, guide children through the creative process and for problem solving, and to give voice to the vulnerable, and to help children create social bonds with their peers. Participants build confidence, and we were happy that Executive Director and, I can't talk, tongue-tied, Angela Lindig, Arts Education Coordinator Heather Kirk, and teaching artists of IPOL deliver arts education services that address the unique educational needs of these families and their children. Idaho Parents Unlimited was nominated by Jennifer Zielinski.
Angela, will you approach the lectern and receive your award?
Thank you so much.
Let's take a step up, please. Right here, please. Want to do another one?
Wow, thank you. Megan, you, where are you? There you are. Bring me to tears right there. That seemed like just yesterday, but it was a long time ago. It was 20 years ago. I want to start by saying thank you to the Governor, First Lady, and also to the Idaho Commission on the Arts, and also to introduce Heather Kirk, who I'm going to let talk more than me. At Idaho Parents Unlimited, we get to work with families who have children with disabilities every day. Our work is primarily with parents and helping them navigate the systems of education and healthcare in this state. And the work is hard and complex. But the most joyful thing that we get to do in our work is our arts programming and working with family and kids directly, kids and youth, and giving them those opportunities. And Megan was talking about my daughter, who that was well before I came to work for Idaho Parents Unlimited. I had grieved the loss of any sort of dance or those types of things that we expect, I think, as moms of little girls. You know, you're going to see your daughter in an adorable pink tutu one day, and then she didn't walk. She didn't take her first steps until just before her 5th birthday. Shortly thereafter, an art residency was made available through her therapy program and by Idaho Parents Unlimited, and Amber dressed in that pink tutu every Friday and got that residency with Megan, and it was a life-changing experience, and that's what we get to do with families every single day, is change their lives through the arts. And with that, we could not do what we do without Heather, who is our arts coordinator, who I actually, her actual title is herding cats and nailing jello to walls. And so I'm going to let her say a few words about the work that we do. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Angela, for your ongoing support. It means everything. Thank you to the Idaho Commission on the Arts for all the support that you give to our community and for the kindness and professionalism with which you do it. I want to thank our teaching artists. They are the heart and the backbone of what we do. They travel through inclement weather. They deal with all sorts of situations that they're not always sure about until they arrive there. And they have to overcome many different circumstances, including pandemics. And they work with such heart and skill and knowledge, and none of it would be possible without our teaching artists, so I thank them. And I am thrilled to share the day with Megan and Tom Bennick, both of who've been teaching artists in our program. Thank you so much for being a part of it all these years. I would like to thank all of the students in our program. They have changed me deeply and my perceptions about life and about disability by demonstrating over and over again that given the opportunity, people with disabilities can create wonderful things artistically and have great achievements in their life. And lastly, I'd like to thank my family for sacrificing every single flat surface in our home to art projects and art curriculum and climbing over boxes and supplies every time they get in and out of the car. So Michael, Isaac, and Emma, thank you for your love and support. It means everything.
Support of the arts is one of the two categories, along with excellence in the arts, made up the governor's first awards in the arts in 1970. This award recognized volunteers, businesses, organizations, or communities that have made significant contributions to the arts in Idaho.
Andy Erstad is an architect, community volunteer, philanthropist, who has made immense contributions to Idaho and the cultural lives of its citizens. He preserves the best of our history, even as he designs and builds for the future. He has served for 24 years on the Idaho Capital Commission and was the commission's chairman through its historic renovation and rebirth of the Idaho State House. He served as the chairman of the board of the Idaho Shakespeare Festival, guiding the team that designed and constructed the festival's modern amphitheater and grounds that hearken London's Globe Theatre. He helped the Treasure Valley Institute for Children's Arts envision their new home. And he designed the Marilyn Schuler Outdoor Pavilion and Learning Center at the Anne Frank Memorial. His philanthropic and volunteer work on behalf of education and the arts just goes on and on. It's too much really to describe here. But he surely makes his great-great-grandfather, James A. Penny, proud. James Penny was the first federal official appointed by President Lincoln to the new Idaho Territory. Isn't that something? And he was nominated by Janet Gallimore.
Andy Erstead, will you approach the lectern?
Couldn't be more deserving.
Thank you.
This doesn't mean you can quit the Capital Commission.
The governor said that because I work at his pleasure. So, as a member of the Capital Commission, thank you to Governor and Mrs. Little. It's a true honor. Congratulations to all my fellow award recipients. Wow, just amazing. I'm honored to be selected for the Governor's Awards in the Arts for support of the arts for 2022. As I said to the people who nominated me and wrote letters of support, I'm humbled, I'm grateful, and I'm honored. And I actually had the word a little bit embarrassed, but my wife struck that. She's the most amazing editor and partner in crime that I have. Our mom had us in art classes as little kids, and our parents were steadfast supporters of the arts. I think it was assumed that we would continue to give the arts an important place in our lives, and that we would support the arts in our community, whether it's local, statewide, regional, or national. To me, it feels as though I'm just continuing in the family tradition. That's for you, Mom and Dad. I also had the good fortune to be a partner with Charles Hummel, who encouraged the same advocacy in the arts in my professional work as an architect. Charles was the 2006 award recipient for Lifetime Achievement in the Arts and a great mentor. In our lives, we are presented with opportunities, and I think we've all heard amazing opportunities, and I like the story of the don't pick up a paintbrush. I'm going to listen to that one. One of the most significant opportunities that I had was being appointed to the Idaho Capital Commission by Governor Phil Batt in 1988. There's a story behind this, and my mother-in-law, who's right over there, Alice Hennessy, was originally asked. Realizing there were no architects on the commission, something she felt was critical to the makeup of a commission starting to undertake a major renovation of the little Capitol building down here at the end of this road. So she recommended me to Phil Batt in her place. I found out later about that, by the way. The governor appreciated her assessment, and 24 years later, I'm still thrilled to serve on the commission that has the honor of lovingly maintaining our beautiful Capitol building. And as I said, I served at the pleasure of the governor, and Governor Little re-upped my term, my time. I don't know what it is.
Don't even think about it.
What I love about the Governor's Awards in the Arts is the recognition across the amazing landscape of arts in Idaho. This year's recipients, you all, reflect a true diversity in creativity, passion, and expression, and I am honored to be among you all as recipients. Thank you very much. Thank you, Commission on the Arts. And I wanted to say one last thing. We are a lucky state here in Idaho. We are a lucky state. And I appreciate Be Kind. That's a great statement. Thank you very much.
I I'm going to take a point of personal privilege as I listened to the educators, and you talked about the challenges we had, and we had a few during COVID, but one of my young staffers who actually staffs both the Arts Commission and the Historical came to us when we were looking at what could we do to help get caught back up, and one of the things we did with Michael's help was we made $1 million available statewide to all the rural districts for them to keep those arts programs going, and that staffer's McKinsey back there.
The Governor's Award in the Arts for exceptional service in the arts was first awarded by Governor Andrus in 1990. This award recognizes individuals working in the public sphere who have made exceptional contributions to the advancement of the arts and to public access to the arts. Mark Hoffland is in his 30th year as the managing director of the Idaho Shakespeare Festival. Mark received a presidential appointment to the National Council on the Arts by President George W. Bush, one of only 2 Idahoans ever to receive such a distinction. He received also the Chairman's Medal from the then chairman of the National Endowment for the Arts, Dana Gioia, and the President's Medallion from the University of Idaho. He served as a board member for the Boise Convention and Visitors Bureau and the National Assembly of State Arts Agencies. And he chaired the Idaho Commission on the Arts for 13 years, serving under Governors Kempthorne, Risch, and Otter. Okay. Finally, I want to add a personal note just to say how much I admire and respect Mark Hoffland. I wish also to extend that admiration to Mark's life partner and fine actor and director, his wonderful wife, Lynn, who is here today. Now, Mark, I know you, and I know this moment. You are saying to yourself that there are others who deserve such distinction far more than you, and you would resist this with every bone in your body. Well, Mark, you would be wrong. So just come up and say thank you.
Mark Hoffland, are you going to do it?
Come on up forward there. One step forward, please. Thank you. Right here. We'll do another one. Thanks so much.
Yes. I am definitely with Tara and Christina about being up here and receiving this award. There are far more people. And in fact, let me close the ceremony with some thoughts about public service. First, heartfelt thanks to Governor Brad Little and First Lady Teresa Little, and to those he appoints as chair, vice chair, and members of the Idaho Commission on the Arts, to the agency's director, whom the commission hires, Michael Faison, and Michael's intrepid staff, past, present, and future. And last but not least, to the citizen servants of this great state who support state government through an annual portion of their wages, an annual portion of their purchases, and an annual portion of their property. We have an amazing state system that funds us. It was created back when Governor Smiley, and he was very proud of this and talked about it. And it's not just through taxes that you support state government. but it's also through your election of a legislature that allocates revenue to support an Idaho way of life, exemplified by everybody here today, that is realized through the participation of these same citizen servants. It is a system that is the essence of democracy. In the end, we get what we serve. That there is an award for service as well, an honor that I dream not of, to quote Shakespeare. We should all get this award. We should all serve to make Idaho a better place for all of us. Regardless of whether it is the way the world is going these days, the idea of public service must never be in danger of being overwhelmed by self-service. Because at the end of the day, it won't matter that self-service was enlightened self-service, or partisan self-service, or simply venal self-service. We will have lost the heritage of public service that built our communities and unites our nation. Aren't we fortunate to have a governor who answered the call to public service long before he took on his current role? Aren't we lucky that we have board members, volunteers, donors, artists, mentors, and audiences who don't do it for the money, who serve an idea that creativity itself is a pearl without price and is to be served, supported, and shared freely with their fellow Idahoans, ideally with every Idahoan. I learned about service when the members of an arts board freely gave and enormously gave of their time, treasure, and talent to build a permanent home for the Idaho Shakespeare Festival. Thank you, Andy Ersted. And when an array of public leaders from Governor Batt on down said, "We'll help out. And be sure you're in alignment with federal servants, too," in a process overseen by more than 24 agencies, all of whom helped. It wasn't long before Governor Batt's successors, Kempthorne, Risch, and Otter, saw merit in calling upon assistance in return. And then I began to see how countless people all over the state supported a marvelous network of selflessness, enriching the lives of students, parents, grandparents, visitors, and residents alike in an abundance of service that apparently knew no bounds. As an example, the Arts Commission chair, under whom I first served, Dee Ferry, became the first person in her position west of the Mississippi to receive national recognition among her nationwide peers, hosting all 50 states and 6 territories at a gathering in the donated Egyptian theater, itself protected and restored under the leadership of Kay Hardy, who would go on to become the chairman of the Idaho Commission on the Arts herself one day. As another example, another woman who was the first Idahoan to serve on the National Council, Louise McClure, wife of late Senator Jim McClure, after whom the federal building is named. Louise McClure, who at home served the Lionel Hampton International Jazz Festival at the University of Idaho, itself unique to the country, and the first recipient, public recipient, of the Presidential Medal in the Honors. It had never been given to a public organization until it was given to the University of Idaho, because there's nothing like it in this country. So, and she served nationally as well, Louise did, and indeed saved the National Endowment for the Arts during its most dire years, if we remember the cultural wars. supported efforts to strengthen legislative ties here in Idaho with those in Washington, D.C., where half of Idaho's arts funding starts in Congress. It's matched locally by the legislature. All the while, a lineage of self-sacrificing agency directors. I knew 4, including Michael, another of whom is with us today. Thank you, Fred Heber. These directors, preceding and hopefully to follow, serve alongside selfless commissioners, each of whom deserves a special note of gratitude. You know who you are. To effectively and efficiently lead an agency year in and year out, through good times and bad, with staff that embody the talents of artists and serve the citizens of Idaho each and every day. And that is where it counts most. In the everyday interaction among Idahoans, serving an ideal of what it means to live and create something worthy of the appreciation of others. Art is the essence of service. You are all artists. You are all servants. This award, accepted under the generosity of our chief public servant, our Governor Brad Little, is a tribute to each and every one of you. Thank you.
As the Governor's Awards in the Arts conclude today, let us recollect that in 1970, Governor Samuelson honored 8 Idahoans in one arts institution with the first Governor's Awards in the Arts. Today, Governor and First Lady Little honored 19 Idahoans and institutions who have made our lives richer by creating, supporting, teaching, facilitating, and championing the works of beauty and meaning, work that tells the stories of who we are as a people. I want to offer thanks to our sponsor, Sunshine Minting, to the Idaho Commission on the Arts Chair, Steve Allred, our open captioner, Lisa Doyen, who's been working diligently every day. She's with Associated Reporting and Video. Our audio and video production manager, CP Audio, thank you. Our photographer, Christina Birkenbein, thank you, Christina. And our musicians today, and I need to read this list because the numbers kept changing over the last number of days. So we have Michaela Shippey Ruggs, age 23 from Caldwell, who had first place in the Young Adult Division at Weiser in 2022. Jetta Brooks, age 13 from Middleton. She finished 6th in the Junior Division. Jaden Lee, age 16 from Boise. She was 5th in Junior Division. Caitlin Nayeli, age 17 from Nampa, 3rd place in the Junior Division. Libby Rogers, age 18, Boise, 8th place in the Young Adult Division. And Emily Fuchs, age 9 from Meridian. She was 2nd place in the Small Fry Division. And then accompanying them was Erin Fuchs of Meridian also, obviously, who was 5th place in the Adult Division. So thanks to all those wonderful musicians today. So thank you to our award recipients for inspiring commitments to creativity and making sure that Idahoans all have access to that creativity, our shared legacy. And then finally, I know I speak for everyone present when I thank Governor and First Lady Little for carrying on. In fact, first, those stories and supporting that artistic legacy of Idaho now and in the future. This concludes the 2020 Governor's Awards in the Arts. We thank you for joining us today. We wish you all a good evening and a happy holiday season. Good evening.
Somebody look there.